Hello and welcome to episode 15 of The New Frontier. Okay, so we've had a major pack update. I kind of went down that route a couple of days ago, well, about a week ago. There's been a couple of bug fixes to the pack release that we've got, so I haven't had a chance to hit a stable release. This has been, for the last couple of days, I've been trying to sort it out. It has been crashing quite regularly. Usually when I access the ME system, which I say ME system, it's the refined storage system. However, it seems to be okay now. I'm not going to say, touch wood, because it might not be. However, at the moment, it's been up, and it's been up for about 15 minutes. So we've got some major updates on this, which I have completed. We have obviously our villages and stuff are all the way over there. The blood moon rising happens every 13 days now, or 13 nights, depending on how you want to look at it. So it's a little bit more frequently, rather than, I think we had 2 in the entire 14 episodes before. We have completed the warehouse over there. I haven't done any more on the village because it's still bugged. If you still look at the actual interface to it, it's not actually coming up with the text. It's coming up with the massively long method names for the actual JavaScript files themselves. So I'm kind of going to leave that be for the moment, and I'm going to focus on the base just a little bit more. Hopefully that gets fixed. So we still have an upstairs, we still have downstairs. Now obviously I've been dying quite a lot in this pack just recently. So I'm going to remove my deaths. That was due to the blood moon and due to, it lagging out and crashing me. And when I logged back in, I got murdered by the skeletons, and I got blown up a couple of times by creepers and that kind of stuff. Right, so here we go. So we've got 4 farms now. We have food, we have rice, which we are going to switch these up shortly. I'm going to take away these farmers, and I'm going to replace it with Ender.io farmers, purely and simply because you can manage those sections a little bit easier. This one is just a blanket farm. I mean, it's brilliant for canola production, and it's awesome for Enderium production as well. However, for food production, it's not that great. So what I will do is swap these over to Ender.io farms, just so that we can manage the quarters just a little bit better. We can have carrots in one quarter, we can have potatoes in another, etc. So we have the growth crystals over there. We have on 2 of the farms, at least, we have sugarcane growing as well. And we've got a fair amount. I mean, it's been growing for the last couple of episodes. And we have got an awful amount of food. I mean, 1,000. There you go. Look, rice seeds, 2.4k Imperium, canola, 7.4k. It's a lot. Really doing well. Can't fault it. Okay, so we have our canola production at the moment, which is we've got 2 of these canola presses, we've got 3 barrels, and we've got 4 oil generators. Now that has been doing us really well with the 4 farms out the back, and also the ME system, plus all the stuff in here. However, we have kind of outstripped this resource with the automation and the extras that we wanted to put in and that we have put in. Okay, automatic jump assist is probably on still. I will go and find that in a minute. Yeah, so we've outstripped our production. We're kind of in a position now where we have this tier 5 solar panel upstairs, and the only reason that we've got that is because I've put it into the crafting system and actually crafted it in there. Otherwise, yeah, we would still be on tier 1. That's great, and it is filling up these 2 power cells, which I can't fault that. That feeds the excess power, so if there is an additional request for power, then obviously it gets handled by those things. This thing is going to go down there at some point. It hasn't at the moment, however it will. That is the actual plan for it. The system here is going to stay here because I kind of like it up here. I just like coming down one level and I'm good. Cobblestone generator will probably stay here as well because, well, we don't really need it. And then we've got obviously our automatic crushing and stuff like that, which we'll remove and we will put downstairs. Now, Yeah, I mean, I kind of, I mean, we really should replace these cables. They're 320 RF, KRF a tick. However, we're only using 295 of it for those 4 farms, so I'm kind of leaning towards not replacing those. You know, we have the 3,200 ones here. I don't know. We'll deal with that at another time. However, what I do want to do today is just show you what I've been setting up for the last, you know, well, before the pack started crashing, what I've been setting up. So I dug down here. Quite big. Yeah. I used my drill, which I made from Actually Editions. I think it's Actually Editions. I don't know. Actually Editions drill, is it? So look, drill. Actually Editions, yeah. Really, really good. I've got the upgrades in there. I've got a drill speed augment, and I've also got drill mining augment 1, which gives me a 3x3 area. Absolutely easy. So it made doing this really, really simple. I have started work on the basics of what we already currently have for our canola production. So I've got 4 presses. I have a ton of fermenting barrels. So what, 12 of those. So, and I've hooked it up to the refined storage. So basically the canola gets exported into here. It gets imported back in the system as oil. I've set up a couple of fluid storage blocks. This one is oil. Canola oil. This one is oil. And this one I've been playing around with. I've been mucking around with how to create crystallized canola oil. Now, crystallized canola oil is a really good mixture. You take oil, you put a crystallized canola seed in, and that is made by using the atomic reconstructor upstairs. So you drop that into the oil, that creates crystallized oil. That crystallized oil then goes into the oil generator, and instead of producing 100 RF a tick, it produces 200 RF a tick. Now we have an abundance, and I mean an abundance of seeds. 7.4k, 7,400 odd seeds. If we can find a way to drop those into an atomic reconstructor, zap them, pick them back up, and then feed them into the ME system, drop them one by one into the oil, and actually create that and then feed that into our oil generators, we will have doubled our RF per tick. And that's per generator. That's not a small amount for a relatively simple process. Now, I follow Direwolf 20. I'm pretty sure most people do. I mean, he's absolutely awesome at what he does. And he uses the Actually Editions droppers and automatic systems, you know, the placers and the liquid suckers and that kind of stuff. However, I found in RF, or in refined storage, there's these 2 blocks, or 2 items. And that is the constructor and the destructor. So what they do is exactly what they say. A constructor constructs something or places something, a destructor picks it up or destroys it. Now, with refined storage, if you have a look on any one of the importers, you can switch it from item to fluid just by using that little toggle. Now that got me thinking, if they have that little toggle, does the constructor and the destructor have that little toggle? And I placed it down into the world, and I right clicked and I saw the little icon and I hit the button and it crashed. Okay, so some of you will be wondering why the hell my inventory has changed. So when I right clicked on this constructor and clicked the type items, it crashed to desktop. Now I've managed to find out, I went through the logs, I managed to find out that when I upgraded from one version to the next version, the mega torches glitched out, and I only created one of them to see what they were like, but they glitched out, caused a massive problem, and basically kept crashing my system to desktop. So what I've done is I've removed every single reference to that plugin. There are no automatic sort of things. There's no mega torches, you know, etc. So we're good. So that's now cleaned. I've got. I won't lie. I cheated back in the items that I had. Not every item, because there were some items that I don't think I should have had. You know, I was already through most of the usage on them. Excuse me, on them. I didn't want to be, you know, basically starting from a massive thing. I will just craft those again. They're not a massive issue. But the things that I spent time on, you know, and this took time to create, so I spawned those ones back in. However, I only spawned what I had, except for empowered canola seeds. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get rid of the empowered canola seeds because I didn't have those. I spawned in the wrong ones. Right, so let's go back to there and sorted. Okay, so we did have decrystallized, but not. So where was I? Right, here I go. So I looked at the constructor, and I looked at this, and it said items, and I clicked the button, and it said fluids, and I'm like, holy crap, that's cool. Okay, so now we can take our oil bucket, and we can click it in here, and now the constructor will output an oil bucket. That's pretty awesome. So I thought, well, if it does it on the constructor, then it'll probably do it on the destructor. But there's a thing. I need to pick up that oil. I need to pick up the, you know, the oil that we've got. And I need to go and craft a pick for this. Because I'm about to break that block. So let's go get some diamonds. We got enough diamonds, which is cool. Let's go get a stick. There we go. Perfect. Okay. It's not enchanted, but it'll do. Right. So this block here is the constructor. That will place oil in. This block here is a destructor. It will take this block away. Now, if this is the wrong type, this at the moment will just take any type of oil. There's no set inventory on this, so it will just, whatever is there, it will just immediately take. So what we need to do is we need to get our oil bucket and we need to place it down because that's exactly what will come out of the constructor. Then what we would do is we would place one crystallized canola seed into it, which then changes this. So if we right click and pick this up, it now changes it to a crystallized oil. So then what we do is we pick up the crystallized oil, we right click on the destructor, and we then place the crystallized oil in the white list. So now this block will put down oil. This block will suck up crystallized oil. That's absolutely brilliant. That's exactly what we need it to do. Now we have a slight problem, is we need to drop a crystallized canola seed into there. Now, it's great that we can place that down and we can suck it up when we need to, but it means that we got to stand here and we got to, you know, throw it in. So what we need is we need a redstone signal, essentially, to place or drop that item in. Now, there is a little thing from Extra Utils called a scanner. Now, a scanner scans the block that is immediately in front of the red dot. So if we place down a crystallized oil, and then if we right click on the block detector and set to current block, it gives us all of the different meta variations, signifies the current value of property. However, it says current block is crystallized oil. Now, when the block detected is crystallized oil, did I bring any redstone? No, I didn't bring any redstone. When the current block is crystallized oil, it should emit a redstone signal. There we go, it is. So that means that when that gets transferred into crystallized oil, that will fire. That will then get sucked up. Well, that's great. However, that's not quite the one we want. So if we go into our fluid system and we put our crystallized canola bucket in there, and then we pull out our oil, so we pull out our oil bucket, what we're going to do is we need it to fire the redstone signal when this is oil. So we need to right click and set the current block to oil. Okay. So when this deploys, this fires a redstone signal. Now we need to translate this redstone signal from here up to wherever we've got the dropper to place that item into the world. We need to drop it in. So what we need to do is we need to build up a couple of blocks. And this is the bit that I haven't quite figured out yet, because there's a hell of a lot that goes into this. That is I believe it's actually Addition's automatic precision dropper. Now I'm pretty sure that this was designed for this exact process. So if we stand back, we can see that we've got normal oil there, precision redstone dropper, right click, there you go, it drops it in there, changes it to the thing. That's exactly what we want to do. Now it is actually Addition's because they have the deactivation and pulse mode. So this is a deactivation mode. So this literally will just, whatever is in there, it will drop just constantly. There's no second guessing or stopping it. So what we need to do is get a redstone torch, right click it and change it to pulse mode, just like we do with the atomic reconstructor. So now we've got this thing, and if we load it up with one crystallized canola, it's not going to drop that item until it receives a redstone pulse. Well, that's great, because we've got this little redstone pulse thingy here. Isn't that cool? That is exactly what we need, isn't it? So if we have the ability to do that, and what I am going to do is I'm going to quickly hook up these cables, because I don't want to keep doing stuff. As you can see, it got sucked up by the deconstructor, and then the new oil got placed down by the constructor. Now, if I fire this thing with a redstone pulse, which is not going to happen, what do I need? I need a lever. Really? Oh, the things that I forget. Lever. Right, we got 4 of them. That's fine. So, grab a lever, shove it on this guy, pull it, flip it, it drops the canola, gets sucked up, and the new oil comes out. That is exactly what we need it to do. That's perfect. Now, we need to get the redstone from here to there. And that is where we need to have a look at cables. Cables, conduits. Have we got conduits now? Okay, so we got these things that are low energy, high energy, high energy, high energy. Right, so there's no redstone conduit. So this is where we were the last time. We were trying to find something that would transmit a redstone signal to the block above there so that we could do it. Now, I'm pretty sure we settled on a phantom face redstone. So a redstone phantom face is this. Now, this requires empowered Restonia crystal. Now, that means that we've got Restonia crystal. Empowered Restonia crystal uses an empowerer. An empowerer, if we go here, is basically a whole load of stuff around a central empowerer, and these are plinths. You place these items on those plinths and it creates an empowered redstone crystal. So what we're going to do is we're going to build that thing, which is the empowerer, which is here. Now, an empowerer requires power, hence the reason why I've got power cables. It doesn't require. It can be automated, and Direwolf20 does an absolutely brilliant job at automating this, and I will probably follow him in the fact that that's the way I will automate it. However, right now we just need to get some stuff created, so that we can get our canola production, to the next level. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and get some redstonia, which we should have. If we don't, we will create some. Right, we've got plenty, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to do 8. Actually, we're going to do 9, because we're going to do a block. That will be a lot easier if we do a block. Okay. So we're going to use the same amount of stuff that we would use for one block that we would use to do an individual crystal. And I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. We are going to use 1 brick, 1 nether brick, 1 red dye, and 1 redstone in that pattern with a redstonia crystal to produce 1 empowered redstonia crystal. However, if we have a look at the book, you will see that if we put a block of redstonia crystal there, we still use the same amount of resources to do that. Now that's more efficient, so I'm going to go with that way. Rather than that, each time we do 1, I can do 9 for the same price. That's kind of cool. So what I need is I need nether rack. So I need to, what should we do? We'll do, I don't know, 8 of those? Yeah, we'll do 8 of those. That's fine. We're going to see if we've got any red dye, or we have 1. Perfect, because I only need 1 right now. What else have we got? We need some brick, which we don't have. So have we got any clay? We have. So I can get the brick. So I'm just going to, chuck a couple of those. And then let's see whether we've got anything else. A redstonia, an empowered redstonia. So if we go Redstonia, nope. Ugh. There we are. Redstonia, empowered redstonia crystal. There we go. And we'll hit the crafting recipe for that. So we've got the netherrack, we've got the brick, we've got the red dye, and we just need redstone. Perfect. We've got 1 redstone there, we've got the red dye, we've got that. So we'll have those there, and we've got 1 clay, which we can go and do now. We've got a block of redstonia crystal. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly rip up the floor and stick some power into this thing. We'll do that, and that, that. Use that one. So we'll rip up the floor. I don't really care what it looks like right now, just as long as it works. So we're gonna just rip it up. We'll come and fix it in a minute. Not right now though. So we will shove our power cables so that they will power each of these 4. Now the only reason I'm crossing in the middle, this one doesn't need to be powered. However, the only reason that I'm crossing in the middle is because, well, it's just a shorter connection. And then I know for a fact that I've got power over there, so I'm going to go and jump up here, and I'm going to hook up the power coming down, because it makes my life a little bit easier. So we'll go across here. Oh, this is where I need to go and get my little spider dude, so I can climb up walls. Right, so we should be able to come down here. I'm guessing here. Yeah, there we go. Right, so we'll just come down the wall for the moment, and we will then break that block and that block and that block, and we will get this powered up. Now this is going to take 80,000 each of RF. We might start seeing flickering at some point. However, we shouldn't have too much of a problem, because remember we put the battery boxes upstairs, so that should help. It should draw the power from there and not from our system. Right, so we've got this. So now, how do we do this? So we go back upstairs, because that's where our furnaces are. And I'm going to use this furnace because it's quicker. So we're going to smelt up our netherrack and get our brick. We're going to smelt up our clay. And we're going to get our other brick. So we've got the nether brick. We're getting a normal brick. We've got our rose red already. And we've got our redstone. And we've also got a redstonia crystal. So now we've got everything. We're going to go back downstairs. And we are going to place, by right-clicking on these items, everything around on one of the plinths. Okay? And the redstonia block, or thing in the middle, goes in the center. They are fully powered. They are quite happy. And as you can see by the nice, beautiful little stars, they're empowering that. Then that might take a little while. We haven't got a lot of power going for our system right now, so it may take a few minutes or a minute or so. However, we should see shortly. Come on. Please, hurry up. There we go. Now we have infused, or empowered, sorry, redstonia crystal. Awesome. Now, if we break that, we've got 9 of them. Hell of a lot cheaper than doing 1 each, don't you think? I do. So now what we can do is, because we have that, I think that was the only thing that we needed to do. So if we now go back to our phantom face and our redstone version, we've got a phantom block. Now we've got a block of enderpearl, which luckily I got 7 enderpearls. I mean, that is an expensive recipe, but luckily. Now we have got empowered diamantine crystal, which I'm going to do in a moment. However, I'm going to see if I've got all the other stuff that I need first. So we need one of those. So I'm going to grab, I'm just going to get 2 of those really. Because we always need them. I'm going to get one of these. What do you know? Got a gold thing missing. There we go. Right, so gold. Actually, we've got the phantom face here, which is quite funny. So we're missing 4 of those, which I'll put into the system now. We're just missing 2 diamantine crystals, or empowered diamantine crystals, which we're going to go and look up the recipe for now. Now it is a diamantine crystal block, which gives us those. So if we have a look at the crystals each, it's 2 clay, a light blue dye, and a block of clay. Now, have we got enough clay? So we've got 2 clay here. Oh, we haven't. That is always the bloody way, isn't it? Oh, hang on. No, we have. Oh, lucky or what? Right, so 2 clay, a block of clay. Okay, we're good there. We need diamond. I know that. We've got a crafting recipe for a block of diamond. So I'm going to kick that off. Get that. Because remember, to do these individually, it's cheaper to do a block than it is to do them individually. I know that this recipe is not exactly difficult. However, it does make sense to do it. So let's have a look at this. We've got the phantom. Start that one. So we're still missing those 2 diamantine. So let's have a look. What else do we need for the diamantine? We need light blue dye. So let's see if we've got any light blue dye. We've got a mystical light blue flower, which, if I remember rightly, we can use a pestle and a mortar, which is crafted like so. We need a bowl, 4 bowls, we get that, and then it's a pestle and mortar. Now, a pestle and mortar will take the mystical flowers, put that with that, and we get floral light blue powder. Now, we should be able to use that. Pretty sure that it's in your dictionary, so we should be able to. We're going to place that on there. We're going to place our block of diamond that... Ugh. Okay, we're going to place our block. We're going to right click up. Really? It did it again. Oh, do we have to do these individually? That's not good. Let's just see if we can place... No. So we have to... Oh, I know what we need to do. Yeah, it's not diamond, is it? It's the diamantine stuff. Diamantine? There we go. That one. Which is an empowerer into there, which we need to take 9. We need to go upstairs and we need to use the atomic reconstructor. And zap it. There we go. Now we've got 9. Now we can craft a block out of it. Now we should be good. Okay, so we should have 9 of those to give us a block of that. Perfect. Let's just clear that just in case we need it downstairs. Now that should sit on top here. We then have 1 clay on there, 1 clay on there, and a block of clay there. There we go. Perfect. That's now being crafted. So now all we have to do is wait. It should be any second now. Come on. Got plenty of power, so you're all good. Go on, zap it. Zap it. Zap, 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 zap. Perfect. We now have an empowered diamantine crystal block, which, when we break apart, or break apart should give us everything that we need to create our phantom face. There we go. We'll put those into the system. And did we put the other stuff into the system? I think we did. So we'll put the other stuff in there as well. Now if we create a phantom face redstone, start that bad boy off. There we go. Phantom face redstone. Now a phantom face works where wherever you put it, you can link it to a block. Okay. So this thing, I didn't want to put it there. I wanted to put it here. So this thing is essentially, we can connect it to that. So what we do need from that, or to do that actually, is we need to go to actually additions. We need to find the wrench. I think there's a wrench. I'm hoping there's a wrench. There should be something to link it. Should be around it somewhere. Book. And phantom face. Be able to go back out here, and this is a block that does UCF. Nope. Don't UCF. There we go. Phantom face redstone. Okay, so Phantom can be used to transmit a redstone signal. This, however, one works differently. The other face only works in one direction. What that means is that it's connected to a block to provide redstone power for redstone next to the redstone face become powered. Blah blah blah. It's not work the other way around. Fine. That's okay. If you don't know what phantom faces, check the first phantom faces entry. So that one. Phantom faces are a simple way to connect things together. 16 blocks. Connected by right-clicking inventory with a phantom connector and then right-clicking the phantom face. So I need a phantom connector. Phantom connector. There we go. I need one of those. Holy crap. I don't think I got enough ender pearls. Please let me have enough. Oh, we have enderium seeds. Really? Okay, that's quite cool. Didn't realise we had those. Oh, I must have got them from the mobs. Nice. No, hang on. Are those actual seeds? What do they make? It is enderium essence. Nice. Oh, we'll have ender pearls in no time. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these and I will be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I found out that the ender pearl thing was a no-go. That produces enderium, which, yeah, I've never used that part of the system before, so oh well. You learn something new every day. So what I did was I went out and killed an enderman, and I got a phantom face, and then realised that actually that's not what I need, because the phantom face didn't work very well, or I couldn't get it to work, so a bit of a div. So what I went with in the end is RF tools. Now RF tools have this really cool redstone transmitter with a redstone receiver. So what you do is you craft both of them, you pick up the receiver, you right click, or shift right click, sorry, on the transmitter, and it matches or links those two together. So that when a redstone signal is received in, it will transmit to here and output it to wherever you're going to do. So what we've done is on the constructor, Crystalised Canola one, we have set it to redstone only. And then this block, which we had before, we've set to oil. So if there is oil in here, it emits a redstone signal, which then turns this on to drop a seed. Now at the moment, it's not working because we've run out of canola. Oh no, again, yes. We also ran out of power while I was playing around, so I've moved the machines here downstairs, and I'll show you why in a second. So let's put that in there and zap these. And go downstairs. And right, crystallized canola. So we'll put the canola into the system. And there we go. Sees oil, drops a seed. Sees oil, drops a seed. Sucked up by this one, drops the oil by this one, sucked up by that one, and yeah, works really, really well. 152, 3, 4. Look at that. Perfect. I could probably put a pulse in this. Just to give it that little bit longer delay, maybe. I don't know. I will. Yeah, it seems to drop occasionally a couple of seeds, which... okay, so we can put a redstone repeater. I think I've got a couple. Yeah, there we go. Repeaters. And then we need to get the canola, crystallized canola out. I mean, this is insanely fast. I mean, look at how quickly it went through a stack of canola. And then obviously over here you can see that, you know, that's been filled. So what we will do here is we'll break this and we'll put in 2. 2 good enough? 2 should be good enough. Well, actually 1 should be good enough, shouldn't it? We'll put in 1 redstone repeater here. Set it to 4 ticks. Actually, we'll put in 2 and set them both to 4 ticks. So we've got 8 ticks. About half a second. And then we'll put the receiver down. If I've got my wrench. There. Okay, so that's set to channel 1. Up here, this one is still set to channel 1, so it should receive a signal. Should change. That should receive a signal. So if we put 1 canola back in, or if we put them all back in, we should see that, there we go, 1. That's a bit better. Now you can see that, yeah, cool. So we should have been 9 buckets, yeah. Look at that. Now we have our oil. Over here, I started to hook up the oil generators. We've got 100, so yep, 280 RF a tick. That is brilliant. I mean, I'm insanely happy with that. Let's see about exporters. There we go, 4 exporters. 4. I know that I've got 3 in my inventory, but they're for moving these barrels. I move these barrels down here from upstairs. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that there. We right click on that one. We've got our crystallized canola bucket. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's switch 4. Those should start to fill up, which they have, and generate RF. So now we have 8 machines generating 280 RF a tick. Not too shabby. Once they reach capacity, they will fill each other up, or fill their internal buffer. But that's not going to happen for a little while anyway. We've got quite a lot that actually uses that. I'm going to get a couple more of these power cells. I mean, this power cell is completely drained. Wow. What happened? That's insane. Okay, so you're accepted in that side and out that side. You're out that side and in this side and out. Oh no, you're in that side. So that's in coming from down there. Really, you should be an out. I don't have my wrench on me. Is it that wrench? I think it is that wrench. Oh no, it is that wrench. Okay, so you're an out. Whoa. Wow. And down there drains power fast. What are you guys doing for power? You guys are fine. Plus, that's all hooked up to there, so that's cool. You are drained. Wow. You are not, though. Oh, that's where you went. So the power went into here. Alright, that's cool. Okay, so we should, in theory, be able to get rid of these blocks purely and simply because we should have hooked it up correctly downstairs. So that now the power is coming up and across and into the system over there. We've broken that connection there. So now the power should be feeding all the way around to where it needs to go. Perfect. Okay, there we go. Sorted. So there we have it. I am going to finish up hooking up the fermenting barrels just because, well, we can. I don't think we really need to. I think having that many fermenting barrels is quite a good thing. However, you can never have too much. So I'm going to start doing that, and I'm also going to. Well, we've already hooked up those ones, which is great. These ones still need to be hooked up. This is all hooked up, and as you can see, something is draining power right now, but these are all full. Absolutely awesome. Okay, I am Synthesis. This was setting up our power generation and our automatic canola next level thing. We also did the empowerer over here, which is absolutely cool. We didn't need it in the end, but it's always nice to have. We're going to need it in the future. And that is the end of the episode. I will catch you guys next time.